Babs? You just got the green light?
Go visit it. Go to a scientific conference and watch the level of scrutiny we put on other people's work. If they have a sensor that has a new result, we'll say, did you calibrate the sensor? How long has the sensor been in use? I'll give you an example. Here's an example, okay? Do you remember Planet X?
Yes.
The search for Planet X.
Nibiru.
That was one, there were several incarnations of Planet X.
Right.
That was among them. Okay.
That was the most wacky.
I'm talking about 100 years ago, Planet X. Okay.
Yes. 100 years ago?
Well, there's several Planet X's, right? So Uranus was moving weirdly. Nobody understood. Maybe there's a planet beyond it whose gravity we have yet to reckon in our equations. Boom! We discover Neptune. Wait a minute. Neptune is moving a little unfamiliarly. This is why my phone is. Sorry about that.
You're gonna drop that thing and break it with no case on?
So, this I got the 12, and I can still do this. I'm just sorry.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
get
dropping.
it. Last time you were here, you had a broken case. You're a broken back. Remember?
So, why are you distracting me? Like
Sorry.
I was like on a roll, and
Neptune.
So Neptune.
Gravity.
We're looking at Neptune's orbit, and it's not following Newton's laws. And this is odd. Well, we've been down that road before. Uranus didn't follow Newton's laws. We proposed another planet, and we found it. So Neptune's not following all the laws of gravity that from all the other planets in the sun. There must be another planet out there, a Planet X. Let's look for it.
Is that Bode's law?
Bode's law is a fitting function that gets you. It got a little more attention than it deserved. It's just that planets. Every next planet is about twice as far away from the sun as the previous one. So you just make a quick equation out of that. And,
that's it?
But it doesn't work for Mercury, and it didn't work for Pluto. And
I thought it was based on the mass of the planet.
No, not at all. Mass has nothing to do
Nothing to do with it?
And it predicted the asteroid belt, but the asteroid belt, there's no planet there.
Right.
Okay? And if you glue together all the pieces of the asteroid belt, you get something like 5% the mass of the moon. So, it gave us the location of the asteroid belt, but that's not a planet. So, Bode's law, it's fun to play with, but, there are limits to how far you want to declare its relevance to the actual universe. So, we're out here at Neptune, and so I said, maybe there's a Planet X. Everybody started looking, including Percival Lowell. All right, back in the 1920s. And he says, I want to find Planet X because something's perturbing Neptune. So he sets out looking for it, and he doesn't find it. Then he hires Clyde Tombaugh. And he dies, so he doesn't see the results of this. Clyde Tombaugh said, I can't find it either. I will just systematically search everywhere. Because if you think something's affecting you gravitationally, you ought to have some idea where it is to be tugging on you in that way. All right? That's not some kind of weird... It's like you're moving differently. Where must the thing be to tug on you so that you're moving in that way? Right. No one could find such a planet X. So Clyde Tombaugh said, it's got to be out there somewhere. I will systematically image the entire sky. All right? And you got to do it on multiple nights, because if something's moving, you'd see it change from one picture to the next. He does this, discovers Pluto. Was Pluto where Planet X was supposed to have been? No. Was Pluto the mass that Planet X should have been? Everyone assumed it was. But over the decades, the mass of Pluto got lower and lower and lower as our estimates got more and more accurate. And then we found out that Pluto is 1/5 the mass of our moon, made of half ice. And this is why Pluto got into trouble later in the 20th century. It's not because we had some vendetta against Pluto. Pluto just never belonged in that list to begin with.
yourself the opportunity to know the truth and nothing but the whole truth. We are tired of the lies. We are tired of the false preachers and teachers and fake imams. Take back your religion and give us the truth. The truth as revealed by the Holy Tabernacle Ministries. We were once called Ansar Allah Community and also Nubian Islamic Hebrews. But now our teacher has revealed himself as who he really is. an extraterrestrial from the 8th planet, Nibiru.
Upon arrival here, Ethricles has been at in 1970, and the taking of the control of this body, of this individual that was 25 years old, not of much use to us.
That's really how you need to think about it. Anyhow, there's still the matter of Neptune's orbit. Pluto did not have enough mass to make those changes. So the search for Planet X continued. So what happens? All right. 1993. A colleague of mine named Myles Standish. Okay? He's probably related to the Myles Standish on the Mayflower. He is an astrophysicist, looked at all of the data people were using to say Neptune's orbit was crooked. Looked at all the data. Then he found out that at one particular observatory, was it the gearbox or the timing mechanism, had just been cleaned or swapped out. Or there was some, because in the observing log, you write down everything, because you just don't know. Okay, was there a glitch in the current? Was there a bird fly over? You make notes of everything. One of the observatories whose data was being grafted together with the other observatories had this sort of gearbox. I don't remember if it was a gearbox. There was some mechanical adjustment that was made. He said, I wonder if that had an effect on the positioning of this telescope. He removed those data from his analysis and fitted data to all the other telescopes that he had for the positions of Uranus, of Neptune. When he did that, Planet X evaporated in that instant. In that instant. There was no Planet X. All the other data, when he connects across, removing the data from the one where the observing log said they did something different, Neptune fell right on to Newton's laws. And so since 1993, there is no Planet X. And Pluto, and were it not for that, we probably would have been a long time before we discovered Pluto, because no one would have looked for it.
They found another, like,
Let me just finish the
Pluto
lesson there.
Okay.
The lesson there is you have information that you think is correct from your sensors. This was an observatory, a fine observatory. And you're going to say, this observatory says Neptune is misbehaving. But then you learned there was something wrong with the data. You throw it out. So I'm trying to say this happens all the time in science. You have to be careful what you're analyzing before you declare that what the thing measured is true, and then realign all your resources to address what you think is true, when it might have just simply been a glitch or multiple glitches or anything. And we do this all the time in science.